Okay.
I think
hello. Hi, everybody. It is ladies' night here at the Wednesday CNC Hangout. And I'm Juliann from IDC Woodcraft, administrator. Wait, which direction? Beside me is Liberty and her beautiful daughter. She is our shipping manager. And below us is our
Kate.
beloved Kate from Women Who CNC. So we are happy that you all are joining us this evening. As always, we're going to kind of go over some rules and just be nice, and we don't no angry, hurtful comments. I will boot you. No questions asked. So as always, put your question marks in front of any questions you have. We will take CNC questions, vector questions, one-finity questions, down pat, epoxy, anything that you all can think of. We will try to tackle it for you. So just 3 question marks or the word question in front of your question. We'll start and get you pulled up. We are only hanging out for an hour tonight, because, as everybody's aware, it's the holiday season. So got things to do. Yes. But we're happy that you're all with us. To get you all hanging around for the entire hour, we do have a giveaway that we have started. So at let's see, 8:50 p.m. we will be doing that giveaway. So if you guys, we got a little teaser right there. Liberty's trying to show what it is.
I don't know. Do I get to show yet?
I was going to say, I wouldn't necessarily show them yet, but there's a little, There
you go.
All right. Well, I've said my spiel. How about you guys? We'll launch into some hellos, see who's joining us this evening.
I see Jack just enthusiastically joined us. A few more familiar faces of Danny and Mark. And then we've got a large range, as always, people. We've got an Ernie from Michigan. Don't really recognize that name. They might have popped on before. We got WXX, as always. See, we've got Kimberly. Hello. We have Nick from Florida. And Danny's from Ontario. I've got Oklahoma here. Oh my gosh, I love to see where everybody's from.
I know. It's my favorite part.
I see Greg popped in back here. Hey, Greg. Jetty. I recognize a few names from recent orders.
I see a Wandering Star from San Antonio, which I love the name.
Yes. Met Wandering Star, actually.
Really? Very cool.
Yep.
Very
at
cool.
The Vectrix.
Ooh.
I am going to have to be a mom. Give me just a moment.
All good.
All right. I'll continue on with the hellos. So I see Rich is with us from Sequim. It looks like I see Ernie on there. E-Cabinets, Tips and Tricks. Oh, it's his first time on the live stream. Welcome. It's so awesome to have you. Normally we have Garrett on here with us, but he is taking care of some things, and we had a ladies' night earlier in the year, and it was really successful. So we decided to kind of pop on and just do it again. So that is where we're just kind of taking over tonight. That's what we're doing.
Yep. I think I saw Garrett in the comments, though.
Yep.
He's sneaking
in there. All right. Okay, so it looks like Nature's Live Edge, Bruce, Donald Harding, of course, the famous Mark Lindsay, you guys all know. Oh my gosh, just so many. Okay, so we have Dennis. Good evening from, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Wyoming? I don't know. I don't want to sound like a dum-dum, but I don't know. All right. So You guys kind of got the rundown from Juliann about the questions. So please feel free to put those in the comments for us. If you have any CNC related questions, if you have epoxy questions, if you just want to maybe talk a little bit of business, that's great too. You know, that's one of Garrett and I's very favorite topics to cover. You know, share with us maybe in the comments, what are you guys making right now for Christmas and how well is it selling? I think that I'm really interested to see, like, are you making Rudolphs? Are you making catch-all trays? Like, what are you making right now? And are you selling it? Or would you consider selling it? Because I know I've had that experience in the past where I've started making things and I'm like, I think this could sell really well. And it was by sheer accident. Have you ever had that happen to you yet, Liberty, where you're like, this is really cool. Like, I could sell this.
Yep.
What did you make?
So it actually, I actually haven't delved into selling my CNC products yet, but this is probably like my millionth sellable skill that I've obtained. But yeah, my mom and I used to run a business and we started making some things for ourselves and ended up getting like so many questions about it that we're like, okay, like, let's keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, cool. So how is the move going? Like, did you guys get everything like transitioned and move over okay?
Yep. We got everything completely moved. We have a few like larger storage boxes that we just kind of keep down there. But yeah, we've gotten everything moved. We're getting updates on the worsening leak from the gentleman that we left behind, Chip. We love him, but he just like, I didn't know it was so bad. We're like, yeah, it's bad.
Oh no, that is awful. I hate that for him. That's so terrible.
The funny part about it is where we're at, he has to climb out our kitchen window to get onto the roof to see where the leaks are at.
Yep.
So it's been interesting.
Oh, God love him. That is terrible. So, I'm so sorry for him. It sounds like he needs to be relocated.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We'll be up there,
especially with the winter months coming, for sure.
For sure.
Oh my gosh.
The storage. Yeah,
absolutely.
We've gotten pretty well completely settled in. A few things have just been slowly finding their places, but we've been fully operational. And that's been going well. We actually ended up bringing on another part-time assistant. So we just started their training yesterday.
Okay.
So
growing the biz. I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah. Get a little backup in the office, extra set of hands. So that's been good, and testing out how the two people in the new office goes operation. So
okay. Yeah. I'm so excited. Okay, so can you tell us this new individual's name and kind of what they're going to do or how they're going to like filter in?
Well, I was going to say, I know he's tuned into one of our lives. But yeah, his name is Dwayne, and he will be doing kind of backup for Liberty, but there's a little propensity for him to help in further, capacities. So
nice. He has expanding skills. Hopefully we're looking to turn him into assistant for more than just one of us.
Yep.
I like multi-purpose. That's very handy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Helps us too.
Oh my gosh.
Sure,
okay.
Sure it does.
So I know with you have been very busy, Liberty. I know I'm kind of like putting you on the hot seat here tonight. I'm so sorry for that. But I am super curious because I know you started doing one-on-ones. I kind of backed away from that for a little while because it's one-on-ones can become very, very intense and very overwhelming with a lot of people that have a lot of questions. So how are you doing with one-on-ones? Are like people signing up on the website for you, or like how's Kyle's class going? Like, tell me all the things, because I know like everybody in the comments is probably like, what? She does what?
Yes,
so, like,
yes.
We just gotta,
there you go.
We just got, I saw that question too. So as far as the one-on-ones go, the few one-on-ones that I've completed went very well. I felt like
Good.
I every time come out of it, thinking, I know more than I thought I did. But I did get a couple of one-on-one requests that were, I felt like, above my practical skill level. And so I did end up passing those on to Garrett. And then through kind of the stress of those two, because I was for a while going to try and take them on kind of thing.
Sure.
Knowing full well I had no place trying to take them on. And so with that, we just kind of decided to pause them for the holidays.
Okay.
So because between the holiday rush and bringing on a new person and training them and getting all of my other, 5-person things done and, just to be able to get through this season and then step back into it. I have not completed Kyle's course even. I've done most.
Is that even a thing to complete Kyle's course? Because I feel like it's ever evolving.
I feel like really, honestly, truly it is. Right. So I'd like to be able to give a little bit more time back to that before stepping back into it. It became a little overwhelming, and I felt like I just needed to step back and take a breather and also maybe kind of figure out what kind of guidance and help that I can give people and offer people.
Sure. And that is very, first of all, I love your honesty. I might just have to say that. I really love your honesty, because doing the one-on-ones, you can get everybody from like your new beginner to some of the most advanced questions. And it's so hard because like you want to try and help everybody. And I know like when I would have those one-on-one requests coming in, if it wasn't something that I was like super familiar with, I would really have to either humble myself and go, okay, I have like 2 weeks or a month that they scheduled this, and try to like work and learn and like reach out to some of my sources and say, how do I manage doing X? And then there were other times I knew parts of it, and then I had to educate myself a little bit because, I mean, let's face it, we all can be really good at CNC, but we can't know. No human brain can know every single thing and how to do every single project and get the most exact results. I mean, that's why we're all here. That's why there's this enormous community. There's all these forums, because everybody has a very specific question. And if you're asking one individual to know how to do all of these things, it can be very overwhelming. Exactly. So, yeah.
Especially to remember all of the things and all of the nuances, at any given time,
Yeah. Yeah, I know. But I will say, I personally, I do Kyle's course myself. I love that it's forever changing. He's always adding. There's always, I don't know, some type of, what do you want to say? I don't want to say competition, but like a contest.
Yes.
So,
yes.
I love that. I love that. Also, by the way, if you guys are interested, if you're new and you don't know what we're talking about, actually, you know what? I'm going to let Juliann tell you about it, because we've been yapping for a minute. So Juliann, tell us about Kyle's course.
I haven't taken it. I've peeked over Liberty's shoulder.
Well, I mean, tell us like where they can get all the information.
Oh, well, fancy that. I posted a link in the chat.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Hey, right there, man. I just got my drink a minute ago.
Yeah, you can check the chat that's scrolling by, or you can find the link for Kyle's course in the description. Yeah.
Yes. Please, Juliann. Please and thank you.
Yes, please. Yes. No, they have to do it if they haven't.
Oh. Well, I just want to say thank you for telling me about that.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. All right. Are you ready to jump into a couple questions here?
I was going to say, did you want to throw in what people were working on for the holidays? I see a couple of those.
Let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead. Okay. Hi, Jack. My Powerline glass insulator nightlight. Catch-all trays are big this year. Yes. Yes.
I've seen those. Those are pretty.
They're stunning. Jack, do you have somewhere, can you like drop in the comments? Do you have somewhere where we can go and see all of your work? I don't know if you have like your work posted on the website or social media or wherever it is. Can you put where we can go and look at all of your beautiful things? Because I've seen them. What's that?
He's got his clamps on Etsy, but I haven't seen too much. I haven't dove into his store yet.
Right. Yes. That's why I'm like, where can we see all the things?
Let's see. Ooh.
Okay, Brooks. He says ingrain cutting boards with inlays as gifts. Brooks, you are the ultimate gift giver because those inlays, man, those are some time and some effort. Beautiful. That is a great gift. Mm-hmm. Christmas lanterns, personalized drink coasters, cheese cutting boards. I love all of those.
I love cheese.
We got some. I'm sure Garrett will talk about them next week. Well, I guess not next week, but maybe after the next week. But we got some personalized coasters from a customer made for all of us with our names on them.
Yeah,
very cool. I love that. That is so awesome. It was so funny that the lanterns came up because I was talking to a friend of mine today and I was like, you know, I think it would be really cool if I could make some lanterns, but I was thinking about like incorporating the epoxy. So like create the frame and then backfill it with epoxy, or not really backfill it, but you know what I mean? Like create the frame and then on the back side of it, just basically make it like a transparent red epoxy or green or something.
Type of feel.
Yeah. And then like carve into each piece and then make like, whether it's a wreath with some holly or like a golden bell or a snowflake or something, and then put some type of light inside of them to where it would illuminate the epoxy and it would really look unique. And I was like, But you know, you have to be realistic in thinking about that kind of stuff because epoxy is going to be very time consuming.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you're working with a craft resin, you at least need to let it dry for 12 hours. Then you've got to carve them, pour them, sand them, assemble them. Then you got to think about what can you reasonably sell them for, because let's face it, Christmas decorations are awesome to have. But I think if you personalized it in some way, like if you did maybe snowflakes or a snowflake and a snowman and then did like a family name, I think that could be a cool gift that you could probably market and sell, because people aren't necessarily want to spend money on the decoration side of it, because this time of year we're all in giving mode. We're not really in like buying for ourselves
mode. Yeah.
Yeah. So I love that lantern. I love that lantern idea. Lanterns are so big right now. I mean, they are everywhere. And I know people are probably saying like, what? But if you look in any type of like decor magazine or something like that, like there's like the enormous one, and then there's like a medium one and like a mid-size one. You know, you could even offer them in different stains or paint or, you know, rustic or whatever your itch is, but
exactly. The versatility is really there. You can go more rustic, you can go more mid-century modern, you can go personalized, you can go, you know, uber holiday themed and put Santa on it. You know, like
he's super cute.
The levels are definitely there with those.
Yeah. Imagine all the little elves if you had a bunch of kids.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I know, how cutesy.
That would be cute.
This is why I just love brainstorming and idea storming with people. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we've got a couple of those. I see some questions popping in. So
hi, Miss Ellen.
Oh, did she hear?
Yep, she just popped on.
Yay. Hi, Ellen. All right. So we're going to start with a couple questions here. This comes from Gary Lynn. Question suggestions, part 1. We've got 2 parts here. The membership that Garrett was talking about for members to add their location and what machine they are using with a $5 monthly fee. Why not? entrance to be a member would at least buy so much in bits for the year. $100 in bits covers your yearly subscription membership. I'm retired and couldn't afford another monthly bill. That's a pretty cool idea.
I'm writing it down.
I like it.
I do too.
Yeah. And Gary, we've got your questions saved under our starred questions. So Juliann can definitely look a little deeper into that and get with Garrett. But I think that's a great idea. Thank you for sharing that with us. I'm going to, let's say, e-cabinets, I cannot say this, tips and tricks. Does the alt mill have 1/2-inch collets? Do you know, Liberty?
I think, because can't he run 1/2-inch tooling on his new machine? Yeah.
I thought he could.
Yeah, so the alt mill can accept 1/2-inch collet or 1/2-inch tooling.
Yep.
Perfect. All right. Let's see what else we've got here. Polywogs Woodcrafts. Do any of you surface anything epoxy? I'm finding that epoxy clogs my dust collection boot on CNC when I surface my river boards. Yes, I do a ton of epoxy work. I have surfaced many, many things epoxy. Number one, I would ask you, are you surfacing your epoxy too soon? Because I've had that happen before. It gets really gummy and kind of like it clumps up and it doesn't come off. If your epoxy is fully cured, it should come off in like little, to me, they look like wax shavings. Like, you know, if you were to, I don't know, take like a cheese grater to like a candle or something, that's what it reminds me of. They're like little flakes. They just come off. The other thing that I might suggest is how much epoxy are you taking off at one time? Because I believe, I can't remember the width of my dust boot. Please don't shoot me for having the wrong size. But I think mine is only like 2.5, because I know there's like 2.5 and 4 or something like that in widths for dust collection. And mine has never really had a huge problem with clogging up the dust collection. So I would ask yourself, is the epoxy dried? And also, how deep of a cut are you taking? You might just be taking too big of a chunk for whatever type of vac system you're using. I personally have the dust dog, and mine has to go all the way up, and then it's got to go over through the wall and then down into the dust collection. So I know it's got a ways to go. If your dust collection is not powerful enough, the other thing that I could recommend is possibly chasing it with the shop vac. That's the old school method. I mean, it works. So that might be something to check out. If anybody's got any suggestions here for Polywogs Woodcrafts, feel free to give him some info. Let's see. All right. Let's see. What else do we have here? All right. Danny has a question for us. Shallow epoxy pours question. What's your go-to method and or tools for filling very small pockets, like 2mm circle, for example? I like to use personally is syringes is kind of my go-to for that. They can be kind of wasteful, and because of syringes can be kind of expensive. So what I like to do is I keep a like a glass jar, like a shallow mason jar, fill it with alcohol. And if it's really just like a little bit, so like for instance, I'm working on this big limestone river Labradors. It's got 47 different layers and 12 different colors. And it's got like the eyeballs and the dogs are 2 colors and all the different things. You have to use that syringe, you know, suck it up, squirt it in, and then I can just drop it into the alcohol, pull it apart, and kind of like rinse it and clean it out real quick. That's what I use.
What happened to his feeding now?
I was trying to think of something else that you could probably use, but I don't know. That would probably be my best advice for doing any type of work like that. I've gotten a little risky before. I've taken like a small like epoxy. They're like little silicone. They look like silicone pencils, but they have like a mini spoon at the end, and almost just like mix it up. And like I have a thing of clear epoxy, and then I'll like grab a little bit, pour it into like a Dixie cup or something, put my pigment into it, mix it up, and then I'll use that little spoon and kind of like hover over it and like. It's very technical. Let me tell you.
You could do it the messy way, like Liberty and I did it. We just took the actual stir popsicle stick and like drizzled it in there.
Yeah, it's very scientific. You know, you have to be really on your game.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, there's a lot of ways to do things, but I personally feel like the syringes are the best. And I like the ones with the plastic tips because if they're not wide enough, then I can always just take scissors or something or snips and just cut the end off, and then I don't have to worry about it. But I would really make sure that the viscosity of your epoxy is, I like to use a thinner epoxy with a lower viscosity, or a higher viscosity, I'm sorry, to make sure that it's going to be liquid enough to go through the syringes and not give you a bunch of problems.
Right.
Yes. All right. Let's see here. All right. Nick. Hi, Nick. What bit do I use to cut foam? Also, which is the preferred foam to cut? Okay. This is a great question. Liberty, have you had any experience doing this?
I have not cut foam. I have heard here and there of people cutting foam. But honestly haven't heard much about it. I would assume you have to follow a lot of like rules on like heat and stuff like that as far as making sure it's like melting enough but not too much or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it would depend upon what you're wanting to cut the foam for, how you're wanting to cut the foam. Are you trying to carve into the foam? Are you trying to carve around the foam?
So what type of foam have you seen people use?
Nothing. I've just heard about it like twice.
Okay. I'm wondering if anybody in the comments can help him out. Okay. So the bit that you're looking to use, Nick, is an O-flute bit.
That's what I was going to say. I'd probably stick towards acrylic rules.
Yeah. Yeah. So I do have, so I'm trying to think, it's like the green board foam. You can buy it at Lowe's. The pink foam, I don't know if that's like the insulation foam. That's a little bit more expensive. I know for like a 4x8 sheet, this is at Lowe's because that's my preferred big box store to shop at. A 4x8 sheet of the green board, I want to say it like 2.5 inches thick, is about $80. So it can be a little expensive, but if you're wanting to run a bunch of test cuts like 3D carves and things like that, so you're not tearing up your really good woods, foam is great. But it's also a little bit tricky when you're working with the tapered ball nose and things like that. So, but I will tell you, and I didn't even know this until I actually needed the bit, and then I called Garrett and asked, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we have that." And I was like, "Why didn't I do that before I started this project?" So they have the 1/4 inch O-flute, they have the 1/8 inch O-flute, and they also have the 1/16 inch O-flute, which is fantastic. So let's.
What I was seeing online, I didn't even think about it. Like the foam that like the fancy foam that you have like in your drawers and stuff for your tools. Yep. I didn't even think about using a CNC to carve that stuff out. I just did like a quick little YouTube search, and like, so you've got those, you've got like, you know, if you think about like the foam floor mats that you would cut into like the little puzzle shapes.
Yep. I know. So I'm just going to say this because you're not allowed to say certain things under certain guidelines, but I have a military family, and I have people in my military, and I have immediate family, like my son was in the Army, just got out. Yay! But for certain types of cases, that foam is really great. They have a lot of different foam, and, you know, for certain types of things that will go in those cases. Read between the lines here. You can actually, that can make a really cool Christmas gift for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Just as
You can CNC
know.
the wood box, CNC some foam.
You got it, sister. Makes for a very, very unique and personalized gift. So
Yep.
there's that. But the O-flute bits are going to be your best friends when you're doing that. And the reason why is because it has one hook on the end, and it's actually pulling the foam up and away, or just like with acrylic, it's not melting, and it's got that big hook, keeps it nice and cool when it's cutting down, and it ejects those chips out and away. So I will tell you, make sure that you are using some type of dust collection when you are cutting into that stuff, or some type of PPE, mask, respirator, something of that, because foam is probably compressed with God knows what and chemicals. So just always make sure you're being safe when you're cutting into things that are other than wood. Side note, Mark Lindsay told me once about I think there was a toxicity chart for wood. So if you guys have not looked that up, you might look that up, and just be careful.
I keep a little wood toxicity chart in the back of my binder to reference.
Yes. I think that would be great. I saw one question come up just right quick over here in my questions, and I want to answer this just while we're on this topic. So this here, Ronnie is asking, can you pour epoxy into foam? Would there be a chemical reaction? Yes, the exothermic reaction in epoxy, which is where they bond together and it heats up, that would be very bad for foam because it would probably just destroy the foam. So I'm going to have to give that a hard no. But thank you for asking, Ronnie. That's a great question. All right, let me see here. Juliann, can you help me out, pretty please, and clean up the questions for me that you do not need?
Yep. I can do that.
Awesome. Okay. This would be a great question.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, we're good.
Okay, awesome, beautiful. You take this one from Mr. Dave.
All right, Dave. Well, aside from throwing the O-flute link into the comments, here is your IDC Woodcraft gift card link. You can get them in any denominational increment that you would like, and they do come across as an emailed digital e-gift card. I should note that we do not have physical gift cards that we send out. So yeah.
That's actually really nice to know.
Buy one for yourself, buy one for your CNC friends.
Hey, there is no wrong way to give a gift card.
That is true.
Oh my gosh. That's a great question though, Dave. I didn't even know that. Is that a new thing that you're doing?
No, it's been around since I've been around, so years.
Really?
Well, I haven't been around for years, but I'm sure it's been around since the beginning.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Let's see. Is there anything going on fun in the comments that are we talking about anything interesting? Oh my gosh, you guys are hilarious. There's a lot of drinks. There's a lot of drinks happening. I'm so sorry that you have to drink so much, but I'm trying my best.
It's 1 hour. They gotta like kind of chalk it all into this tiny time span. I'm so sorry, you guys.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
All right.
Let's see. All right. They're being honorary. Okay. Who's our next one? Okay. Hi, Brian. I decided to do a quick name puzzle for my 2-year-old granddaughter. Is there a common method to get the letters to fit into the pocket? So a little bit of a loaded question. I'll do my best. So I don't know, Brian, if you are familiar with what program you're using. I'm not sure if you're using Vectric, but that's my program of choice. I like to use the pocket allowance and you can either use that in the negative or in the positive by very small increments, and those will get your letters to fit into your pockets well. I will give you this little bit of advice when making puzzles. I've made several of them for friends who have had babies or, you know, grandkids, things like that as gifts. The shorter and the little bit stockier of the letter, the better. Just because if you make them really long and a little bit thin, they will, like, kids are brutal. You can't have anything nice when you have children. Okay. I have 4, so I can say that. Okay. But I did find that in my years of making some of these puzzles over time. The other nice thing to do, if you make them out of a really nice quality wood, I like to mix up the woods, and then that way you don't have to worry about painting them. Because have you ever tried to paint like a letter, you got to like prime it, and then you got to paint it, and then you got to flip it over, and then you got to get the edges, and it becomes like a whole thing, and they take forever. So what I did is I started getting different types of wood, and I would actually cut those different types of wood out and then put those into the pockets. But you just have to have enough of an allowance to fit into your base, if you will. So
it looks like he is using Vectric, and Nature's Live Edge said that for a puzzle, 0.005 works pretty good.
Yep. Yeah. It's kind of a trial and error. I know when I started mine, I just started with like really simple things like hello. And I don't know. I can't even remember what I used. I
like your idea of not painting it too, because if you have a chewer, you don't necessarily want them getting that paint, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Well, and the other thing is, you know, kids, depending on the age, it depends, like they're like trying to like turn it, and then they're cramming it, and then they're like hitting it on the edges and everything. And just the shallower and the sturdier the letters are, it's easier, you know, and you can do like a food grade sealant on it or something like that. But I don't know. I've just learned over the years, sometimes just less is more when it comes to doing CNC projects, especially if you want to try to replicate things over and over. I mean, it's great if you want to have it and you're just making like a one-off, like he's just making this for his granddaughter. But let's say his, you know, I don't know, somebody sees it and they're like, oh, that's beautiful. Can you make one for me? Or can you make one for XYZ? And now you've got a puzzle making business. By the way, I want to share a website. I think it's puzzlegenerator.com. They have some really cool, fun puzzles and designs. Liberty, this would be a great little project for you to learn and to work with, like offsets and that your pocket allowance. So
what'd you say it was called?
I believe it's puzzlegenerator.com. It's something to that effect. You guys may have to Google it because I think it's been like 6 months since I've made a puzzle.
As I say, I'm looking for it now so I can throw the link in. Let me see. Garrett showed me a really cool maze generator the other day. And that thing was, I was playing with that for probably about 15 to 20 minutes. Not doing work like I should have, but playing around with this maze generator.
That's all right. That's all right. Hey, I like the mazes. I think Two Moose Designs, Jeff and Jess on YouTube, they have an Etsy store and they have a killer puzzle. It's like a maze puzzle. It's like the one like you put the marble in, and it even has like the places where you could even put like a piece of acrylic on the top. So then that way, like if you give it to a kid, it's not they don't have the opportunity to like eat the marble. So it's pretty cool. I like their stuff. All right. Let's see. I hope I'm not going too fast for everyone. I just know we have an hour, so I want to try to answer like as many questions as I can. All right. Welcome back, Liberty. I'm glad you're back.
Thank you. Sorry, if I'm stepping away, I'm typically being mom for a moment.
Hey, girl, it's quite all right. It's quite all right. I have teenagers. There's like a note on the door outside that says, "Do not enter unless your hair is on fire." So, you know, you'll get there. It's progressive.
Eventually, we'll get there. I mean, another couple of years.
Yeah. Dave Olson, Kate, how about acrylic and carve your images into the acrylic? Well, friend, so acrylic is, I don't normally buy like big things of acrylic. And if I'm working with acrylic, I'm typically cutting it out so I can put it into something else. Let's see. Carving your images into acrylic. I don't know about carving them because it would have to be such a shallow carve. If you were to carve, you would have to use, you'd have to use the O-flute bits. Now, if you want to do like a drag bit and acrylic, you know, I haven't really done that. I know there's certain types of things that are better to work with the drag bits, but as far as carving, I mean, my acrylic that I buy is usually not more than 1/8 of an inch thick, so I'm typically not carving anything into it. If anybody has any suggestions, feel free to help Dave out here.
We got drag knife for light plaques.
I was gonna say the only thing that I know of like that would be kind of along maybe his question would be I plan on using a diamond drag bit for light plaques.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm super excited to do that. To be completely honest, I know like a lot of people, I've heard a lot of people say over the course of doing this is they'll say, I am terrified of the beast, or I am terrified of surfacing bits, or that is the one thing that is super like myth. It's just like, it's super terrifying to me. And I'm one who's always like, throw it in there and let's just run it and see what happens.
Because you're like, it's literally just dragging it around.
Exactly. I'm like, and it's like $100. So if I screw it up, I'm going to be like, you know, I'm going to be angry because it's not going to go the way that I want it to go. And that's going to upset me. So I don't know. I think I'm more nervous more than anything, which is really odd for me because normally I'm just like, it'll be all right.
Right.
You gotta learn somehow. So
figure it out. Trial and error type of thing.
Yeah. Hey, so if you have any suggestions for me, that'd be great because I really want to learn more about doing the acrylic. I'm super pumped about that.
I think he was actually, let's see,
as long
referring
as
to that for your lanterns.
What?
I think that the acrylic, carving into the acrylic was meant for the lanterns that we were talking about.
Oh, yeah. The lanterns.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That would be cool. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I would really have to think about that because you would want it. You know what? That's a really good idea. Because, I mean, you think about it, you carve into like a clear piece of acrylic and you set the LED light like underneath it or whatever, and it just auto illuminates it.
Yeah.
So instead of using epoxy, you could use the colored acrylic, use the drag bit, and then put the light in it. The question would be, would it illuminate as well as you'd want it to if the acrylic were colored, say red, green, light blue, something like that? Because most acrylic is clear.
Right.
But, interesting. You could do a colored light bulb and do the clear acrylic.
True.
You know? Dave, thank you. Thank you, brother. Those are
to think about.
See? That's what I'm saying. Like light bulb moments. Like I love to just sit and think and like the creativity just sparks. All right. Okay, let's see. Jim says, so a question for Kate. Do you find yourself more inclined to use pre-made models or are you more of an original artwork person? That's a great question, Jim. For models, it depends what it is. I have a couple things that are very, very near and dear to my heart that I have designed, but they usually were gifts for people that I needed it to have a very prominent meaning. So over on my Instagram, there is it's called Rise and Shine Wood Signs. That's the name of my business. And there is somewhere in my Instagram, there is she's kind of like an angel and a lion, and they're kind of like coming together. And that was a really significant piece for me because a very dear friend of mine, she lost a baby, and then she was blessed enough to be able to have a son, and she named him Leo. And so she calls him Leo the lion, which I thought was really adorable. And she's a very, very Christian person. And so obviously the lion can represent God. And so because mother and son and God in their relationship, I wanted them to all be intertwined. So in that artwork was original for me, which was extremely personal. But it was just a really beautiful thing. So when it comes to stuff like that, I will definitely do the original artwork or help someone like, kind of spitball some different ideas, and like we're doing tonight with the lanterns and things. Pre-made models, as far as 3D modeling, absolutely. I wish I could do 3D models. I cannot to save my soul. So, I think the CNC journey is very personal for everyone for many reasons, but that artwork was pretty badass. I'm going to say myself.
That was definitely a piece to be proud of. Definitely a piece to be proud of.
Yeah. And if you look at it and you're like, how on earth was that thing carved? Of time and vectorizing and, her hair wisp won't come out here and it'll go too deep here. And it's just like,
oh, goodness.
I know. It gets to be a little crazy. All right. Okay, Liberty, can you take this one? Because I have not actually done a sketch carving before.
I might be able to. So, I haven't done sketch carving before, but from what I know of it off the top of my head, I'm jumping on to Vectrix on my computer now. Yeah. I would guess,
I know in like I can't recall in the new V12, but in V11.5, there was the picture editor where you could edit that and then maybe pop it into.
Yeah, so I would probably do some sort of trace bitmap to where you trace around the image that you want, or create a square around, closer in on the items that you're wanting, and then creating your sketch carve. From there, I forget exactly how the process. I know Garrett has a video that he did on the sketch carve, and I would assume somewhere in that he has where he edited it. So I will find that and I will link that below.
Sweet. That's awesome. Thank you. I'm sorry, John, we won't be able to help you. And again, audience, friends, if you can help John out, shoot him a message in the feed. All right. This comes from eCabinets, Tips and Tricks. Got it right that time. Do you guys have any cutters that will cut 2 inches or more?
Depends upon what you're trying to cut. So we do have our new 3/8 and 1/2 inch tooling that is, I believe, like 2 inches and 1/4 for one of them and something like that. And then if you're sticking towards 1/4 inch tooling, we have our extended 1/4 inch down cut. But to be honest with you, it's hard to find tooling that will cut 2 inches or more that is not 1/2 inch or so. because you just struggle to not like instantly break them because they're thinner than how long they are and how much they're cutting.
I would wholeheartedly agree with that, because you have to run them extremely slow. You have to just your feet and your speed has to be slow, because what happens is, like, here, I'm just going to use my pencil as an example. What happens is your tooling gets so long, and then you're moving along, and let's say you hit something, you have a much higher probability of snapping your bit in half. So like Liberty said, the 1/2-inch tools are going to be your best bet. If you're looking to remove a lot of material rather quickly, they have the Beast and the Hog as your roughing bits, and those can, I've run a lot of tests with those bits, and they will destroy some hardwood in a hurry, and they can do, I think, 3/4 of an inch at a time. So I'm not sure what exactly you're trying to do, but that might be an option for you. The Beast is definitely shorter. My personal favorite roughing bit from IDC is the Hog, just because it's, that thing is sturdy. It's got a longer depth on it. So I think I used some hickory, and I did the full 3/4 inch depth, and it went all the way around and cleared out a bowl, probably 18 inches wide, and probably in about 20 minutes.
Beautiful.
So they're really nice. So hopefully that might, put your brain on a different track, but consider looking into those.
Okay.
Let's see. All right. Mr. Gary Lynn. Hi, Gary. Garrett showed a T-track clamp, and I can't remember, it was on the Q&A or one of his videos. It was similar to Rockler's, looks like, I think he meant to say compression clamps, T-track locking clamp. I'm not sure. Gary, we can probably, I'm not sure if Garrett is still on or in the comments. He might be able to help you out with that. But I don't know, brother. You ladies have any ideas?
I think it may have been the T-track video when he was installing the T-track on his alt mill. We are actually getting samples in of T-track to start carrying, and clamps will be following. So we got a couple videos to find, it looks like. So I will put that one down on my list, and I will throw it in the description of this video. You guys remember, you can always refer back to this live on the IDC Woodcraft channel, or actually on Kate's channel. This will be listed on YouTube under live streams. And then you can refer back to the links afterwards. Because sometimes we don't get those in right during the live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
we do
I
our
just found the sketch card video and threw it in.
Oh, very good. Very good. I need to watch a little bit more info on that. I've seen some pretty cool stuff. My nephew is wanting a photo of his Volkswagen. Why 17-year-old? Girl, I don't know. It's a Jetta. It's a diesel.
Okay. Yep. That's respectable.
I don't know. He's 17. He's like, and Katie, can you carve me a picture of my car? And I was like, sure, I'll try. And then he sent me some photos, like 27 different photos of his car. He's like, you pick which one you like the best. I was like, oh, honey, you need to tell me which one you want, because I want it to be your favorite.
Yep.
Aw. The whole car is his favorite. That's the thing. He can't pick just one picture to represent that car.
I know.
Exactly.
Which was so cool, because it was his grandpa's car, and then he and his dad, my brother-in-law, they tore the whole car apart. They tore all the seats out. They tore every single thing out, and they literally built it back up from scratch. Here's the funniest story. I know we're almost at the cap of the hour, but I have to share this funny story with you. So back in the day, my very first car, I had a stick shift. I had no idea how to drive this thing. My dad forced me to drive it. But I had not driven a stick shift since his car. He was like, Hey, Katie, will you take me to school? This was like on a Saturday morning at like 6 a.m. or something stupid for what's that? FFA. They were going to an FFA thing, practice. And I was like, sure, I'll take you. And I get in like with my coffee cup and I'm sitting there and he's like, and I'm like, oh shit, this thing is a stick. I haven't driven a stick and I got to drive this thing back to the house. So I'm like trying to chug my coffee on the way to the school with him driving like a maniac. So anyway, I get in the school, put the coffee cup out, get in the car and I start driving. I'm like, oh, this is fun. This thing handles like it's on rails. And I'm like driving it like I stole this son of a gun. And I'm like, shooting hills in Kentucky, like driving it like I stole it. And I pull back in and I put my sister in the car and we go pick him up. And she's like, he is going to have a heart attack. And I drive in like, because they're in like Southern Kentucky. So it's like this all around the hills. And he sees me coming down the hill and it's a green light. And I'm like railing it in and then coming around in the parking lot hot. And I got to run, go roll down. I'm like, hey, what's up? And like yelling at him. And he's like, you will never drive my car again.
That's great.
He forgot
Best
he
day
had the
ever.
coolant.
Best day ever. He was just like, what is wrong with you? And I was like, baby, we can't get into that right now. Just get in the car.
It's all good.
Best day ever. Best day ever. Like kids are so funny, but it was rather hilarious. It was rather hilarious. I'm not gonna lie.
That's funny.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. That was totally off
You're
topic.
good. That's a great.
Nope, that was great.
We've got 3 questions left. So do we want to knock those out before we do our giveaway?
You know what? Go ahead and do your giveaway.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, you guys. So I can't drum roll right now. There's too much stuff in front of me. I'm sorry. Tonight's giveaway is going to be a pair of IDC Woodcraft calipers, which you get a lot of little doodles with that are falling out of the case. You get extra batteries. You get extra screwdrivers.
You get instructions. You get silica gel.
Yeah, keep it dry.
You get 2 screwdrivers. Yeah, there's the other one. 2 screwdrivers.
Nice.
All right, here we go.
Oh, you're blurry.
All right. Yeah, they're digital calipers. They have a large screen on them. They are.
Well, hold up. We're looking at a blank screen, ma'am.
Hold on.
It's just Cali 4.
Yeah. That's the code they get to use.
Yep.
Oh,
That's the code that they get to put in the chat. And make sure that you guys no spaces between the hashtag or £, and the letters. Enter it as you see it. And then we'll run that for 2 or 3 minutes, getting everybody in on it.
Okay. All right. Hashtag CALI 4 is your code.
Had a car named Callie. Anybody else name their vehicles?
Yep.
Yeah, a long time ago. My best friend Paige had the most hideous brown car of her life, and I had a Ford Focus, which was super hip back in the day. Just saying. Anyway, she'd be like, "Let's take my car," and I'd be like, "I'm not riding in that big rolling turd," because it literally was like poop brown.
Oh no!
And I was like, "That thing is so embarrassing."
Was it one of those giant like boat Cadillac cars, like giant
I don't even know what it was, but it was so small, and it was like literally it was poop brown, and it was horrible. The interior was like maroon. I was like, "That's even worse."
That's what color combo.
Oh, you're telling me. You were telling me. And we were like 16, and she's like, "We'll go out cruising." I'm like, "Girl, we are not going out cruising in that crap mobile."
You pull the hood up, you put on another hat on top of the hood, you put the scarf over your face. Sure, let's go.
Yep.
Put my Jackie O's on.
There you go.
Throwing out like your movie stars just to hide your identity.
Yeah, no man, it was bad. It was very bad. It was very bad.
Oh gosh.
How many entries we got? Oh, we got 73 people so far.
Woo!
And if you enter it twice, it only counts you once.
Yeah. No
All right,
big
all right.
dealio.
Okay, I'm going to tackle a couple more questions.
All righty.
Bruce, my beautiful friend, this is a great question. He says, I'm brand new into the CNC part of things. Is there a course you recommend for me to get up to speed on learning things besides searching on YouTube? Well, yes, Bruce, there is. We were just actually chatting about that at the very beginning of this. His name is...
Throw the link back in.
I know. Kyle E. Lee at learnyourcnc.com. He has an entire comprehensive course that you can take. It goes from the very beginning all the way to like advanced, the most advanced things you can think of, 3D, rotary, all the things. There's an entire community in there, and it is worth every single penny. And Juliann probably put a link in the chat, so if you want to check that out, you can go and check him out. I don't know why I'm being such a big advocate for Kyle tonight, but I'm just saying, like, learning your CNC is literally learning the software, not necessarily just your CNC. Learning your software is an investment. It's like the actual machine, because as Mark Lindsay has told us many, many times, the great thing about CNC machines is your machine will do exactly what you tell it to do. The bad news is your machine will do exactly what you tell it to do. So if you don't learn the software, you are going to have a very, very big, expensive, frustrating paperweight out in your shop. So with that being said, if you want to get like a tidbit of Kyle's course, like to like kind of see what you're getting yourself into, go over to his YouTube channel, check that out. And then you can see some of the videos and how they're laid out. And it's fantastic. Liberty's taking it. I'm taking it. I'm working through it. You know, when I want to work on something, if I want to have just like a crazy question, I go look in their community. It's just, it's just fantastic. I can't say enough good. By the way, if you don't know what to get yourself for Christmas, go do that. Go do that. Yeah. Say, what do I want for Christmas? This is what I want. I want this course. Thank you so much.
Invest in your education.
Amen, sister. Amen.
Nice. Okay, I think we've got all the entries that we are going to get on this, because that 77 hasn't moved. So let's go ahead and do our drawing really quick and see who our lucky winner is.
Oh, okay. Oh, are we going through all the names?
It just rolls. Rich Brescher. It rolls automatically and picks automatically. So
there we go.
Yay!
All right. Let me write this name down. Now, Rich, congratulations. To claim your lovely caliper prize, just shoot on over to the IDC Woodcraft website, and we will, just send us a message, and your subject line will be Wednesday winner. So, yeah.
Wednesday winner.
Congratulations.
Woo!
Yeah.
You know what? I just had a magnificent idea. What if during the holidays we did, or like the month of December, we did like a holiday giveaway on Wednesdays?
I'm liking it.
Would that not be cool? I would even love to like pitch in. Like if somebody wanted to do, like I would throw in like some epoxy cool stuff that like I use.
Ooh. Okay. We can get that going.
I like it.
Yeah, I think that might be kind of fun, or, you know, just do something kind of fun to mix it up a little bit. I just got some new really cool epoxy molds. Super excited. Can't wait. I know. They're like an octagon, and they're like about yay thick. And then I have like a really big one, and I have like a medium one. I have no idea what I'm going to put in them yet, but I'm thinking.
Sounds neat.
I know. I'm super stoked. All right, let's see. We have 2 more questions. I know we're about 5 minutes over, but I don't want to leave our 2 last friends without their questions being answered. All right, Robert, hello. As a new newcomer to CNC, welcome. I bought a Jimitsu, I think that's how you pronounce it, 4040 Pro Max, and it came with 3 flat 30-degree V-bit. What would be the best bit to start out with for a simple project for being new to CNC? So when you say 3 flat, I'm not sure if you mean end mills, because they have that flat bottom. I would just start by carving your name or carving.
Yeah, I would agree with that, especially since you've already got the V-bits. Just start carving some words.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So the biggest thing, Robert, when you're doing with a 30-degree V-bit, because it is such a steep angle, you're going to need to set if you're using Vectric, you're going to need to use what's called set a flat depth. So you'll have like your starting depth, and then, oh gosh, Liberty, help me out. What's this?
I believe it, even though you're not flat carving, it's called flat depth. So it's like a limit of depths that you can go.
Oh, no, I knew that. I'm just saying, like in Vectric, I don't have Vectric pulled up right now. I can't remember. It's like starting depth, and then there's another depth, and then it has check off.
Oh, max carving depth over depth. That's what I've got for that one.
Yes.
He did say that they're at a point. So
start and cut.
Oh, no, these are at a point. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got start and cut depths here. Start and flat.
Okay, so you're going to want to put a flat depth because let's say you have a piece of 3/4 inch material, that 30-degree V-bit is at such a sharp angle. What it's going to do is it's going to try and carve all the way down because the bits are trying to come to a point where it gets past the bit length, and then you're going to wind up carving a hole into your material because that bit can go so far down into get that really intricate detail. That's why they have the 30, the 60, the 90. So if you want a little bit of a wider carve and a shallower piece of material, that's how you can get away with doing things like that and not allowing it to have a flat depth. And then you can get that really nice V carve that everybody is always trying to achieve. But when you have a 30, 30s are really used for like extreme detail work. So I would look at some of the starter sets and things like that Garrett has on IDC. Those are going to be some of your better bits. But if you want to try, just make sure to try carving your name. I don't know, maybe you have some tapered ball nose bits or something like that that would have that V shape. But sometimes it will tell you on the actual packaging. If it's not on the packaging, you can actually look on the shank of the bit, and sometimes it'll kind of be like laser engraved or etched into the bit. So that might help you determine what you're actually working with. The other thing I can tell you is, Robert, as a newcomer to CNC, be sure to get on Facebook and join some groups. Those are going to be your best friends. You can ask lots and lots of questions, and you can even search for certain topics in those groups. The other really amazing thing is tell people that you are new. They will welcome you. They will help you out. They'll be on the lookout for you. If you post things and questions, you'll be like, oh, new guy. Yep, let's help him out. The communities are very, very supportive. So welcome. All right. Last question. Jim, have you ever done a mixed media inlay? Like with a wood base and acrylic insert? I have done mixed media. I actually just did, I did some HDPE and an acrylic inlay. I have done a big chunk of acrylic with acrylic inlays. I have not done wood with an acrylic insert. I don't know. I mean, do I think it could be done? Absolutely. Do I think that would look really cool? Yes, I do. I would just be really careful with what type of wood you're using, and make sure that you do a few test pieces and make sure that the acrylic, you get that allowance offset right for the acrylic with the wood, because that's going to be your biggest sticking point, if you will, just because different types of woods cuts different. They have different moisture points, things like that. So, but I think it just definitely sounds cool. Give it a whirl. See, that's what I mean. Back to my point. There are so many things you can do. Like,
test it out, try it out. You never know what's going to work until you actually either fail at trying to make something work or discovering something completely new.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. There are lots and lots of projects. Ask in the forums, ask in the groups. I mean, join Facebook. Don't be shy and get out there. I mean, you got to put yourself out there because, I mean, the worst people can say is no. Like, don't be afraid. Ask those questions and be a little bit vulnerable. Nobody is going to judge you for it. And if people are a-holes, then, just ignore them, acknowledge the people that are trying to help you, and move on with your day because, there's going to be haters everywhere you go. So, but don't let them get you down or out or make you feel less than for asking questions because those people forget that they started at the bottom too, like everybody else. We're all just one day at a time over here. So you got to keep it moving. But I don't know. Are you guys ready for Christmas?
No. Shipping times have me down because I'm one of those last minute, like I have so many other things that I need to do. So the shopping gets put off till the very last. And I kind of purchased all my stuff within this week for everybody. So shipping dates are like January 3rd. Because I'm not paying for expedited shipping.
Yep.
Sorry.
Lord help you, children. Lord help you. Yeah, I have a big pile. I'm sitting in my husband's office tonight, and I have a massive pile of gifts I have to wrap, and I'm just like, yeah. And it's wrestling season, and my daughter and my son are both wrestling, so I pretty much have no life. I just live in my car and shuttle back and forth to wrestling meets, and yeah. And we're still doing travel soccer too, so we do that 3 days a week, and then we do wrestling all the other days of the week. Plus, I think there's a couple extra days in there that I forgot about somewhere.
Whew.
I know. It's a lot.
Busy woman.
Yeah. But I just want to say to all of you, I am very, very grateful to all of you. Thank you for all of your support over this past year. I know I've had a bit of a rough year, and you guys have all been very compassionate and patient with me in my business and here on our Wednesday night lives. But I just want to say I love you all. You all are beautiful people and friends, and we're all just so thankful for you guys. And I hope you guys all have a beautiful Christmas. And I know I'm going to personally have an amazing birthday because my birthday is Christmas Day. So I get to share my birthday with Jesus. So it's already going to be awesome. Just saying that. But I hope you guys all have a very Merry Christmas. And I don't know, do you guys want to say anything before Christmas?
Happy holidays. See y'all next year. Don't carve your fingers off.
Please don't do that any time of the year. I mean, we'll have to start branding IDC Woodcraft safety equipment and Band-Aids.
Right.
But yes, happy holidays to everybody. Reminder, we will not be here next Wednesday or the Wednesday after that because that is Christmas Day and New Year's Day. So I don't know if Garrett has plans to have an impromptu live wishing you all happy holidays. We never know. But nevertheless, we are thinking about all y'all. We appreciate you all just so much, exactly like Kate said. And
yes,
we wouldn't be here without you guys. So just remember that you all are awesome.
Yeah. Go enjoy your friends, your families, as we enjoy ours.
All right. Very good. All right, y'all. Have a good Christmas, and we'll see you guys soon. All right, bye.
Bye.